Listen, life is going to throw stuff at you. People are going to talk about you, misunderstand you, doubt you, and sometimes even straight up lie on you. But here's the truth. You can't spend your time chasing down every word, every opinion, every little thing somebody says or does. If you try, you'll be exhausted, bitter, and broken spirit. You got to train yourself to be unbothered. See, being unbothered isn't about pretending nothing hurts. We're human. We feel things. But it's about deciding what gets your energy. You've only got so much mental space, so much emotional fuel. Why waste it on stuff that ain't building you? If it's not feeding your future, you let it go. Period. When someone throws shade at you, you got two choices. Step into their shadow or keep walking toward your light. You got to keep your focus forward. Let the noise be noise. Let the gossip be gossip. The second you stop to defend yourself to everybody who don't matter, you just gave them the power to slow you down. Understand this. Every minute you spend being offended, clapping back, proving yourself to somebody who already made up their mind about you. That's the minute you could have been using to level up. Some folks want you bothered because a bothered person ain't productive. A bothered person stops building. Don't give them that satisfaction. So how do you train yourself to be unbothered? You start by deciding what's worth your peace. You build a vision so big that small stuff can't distract you. You keep your eyes on your purpose, not their pettiness. You learn to say, I hear you, but I'm not here for that. You stop explaining yourself to people who are committed to misunderstanding you. You keep your dignity while the world tries to pull you into drama. One day, you'll look back and realize the things that kept you up night weren't even worth 5 seconds of your joy. And when that day comes, you'll thank yourself for not letting every distraction derail your destiny. So from this moment on, protect your peace like it's treasure. Because it is. Move forward with a quiet confidence that says, I know who I am. I know where I'm going. And nothing you say can stop me. That's being unbothered. And when you get there, nothing, nobody will be able to shake you. Protecting your energy by not reacting to every opinion or criticism. Criticism is one of the most powerful skills you can develop if you truly want to grow in life. The reality is you're going to encounter people who have something to say about everything you do, no matter how good your intentions are. Some of them will speak from a place of jealousy, some from ignorance, and some from their own personal pain. But if you let every word, every side comment, every bit of judgment get under your skin, you will spend more time defending yourself than living your life. It's not your job to change everyone's mind about you. Your job is to keep becoming the best version of yourself, regardless of the noise around you. When you react to every opinion, you hand over control of your mood and your mindset to someone else. Think about that for a second. Your peace is supposed to be yours, but every time you let someone's words provoke you, you've given them the keys to your emotions. And the dangerous part is most of these people aren't even thinking about your well-being when they speak. They're not building you up. They're just filling the air with their own version of the truth. So why would you give them that kind of power? The strongest people aren't the ones who clap back the fastest. They're the ones who have mastered the art of not needing to. This doesn't mean you have to accept disrespect. It means you choose your battles wisely. You understand the difference between something that requires your attention and something that's simply bait to pull you into unnecessary drama. If every little comment is enough to pull you off your path, then you'll never get to where you're going. People can't stop your success unless you invite them into your head. And when you keep reacting, that's exactly what you're doing. Opening the door for them to mess with your focus. There's another side to this too. Sometimes the loudest opinions come from people who have never done what you're doing. They don't understand your vision, your hustle, or your calling. They can't see what you see, so their words are limited by their own perspective. If you take their criticism to heart, you're letting a limited view shape your unlimited potential. You can't let the wrong voices set the tone for your journey. Your energy is too valuable for that. Learning to protect your energy means getting comfortable with silence. You don't have to respond to every message, every rumor, every dig someone takes at you. Silence isn't weakness. It's strategy. It shows that you know where your attention belongs. The more you practice holding your peace, the stronger you get. And over time, you'll realize that most of the things that used to get a reaction from you don't even deserve one. You'll start to see how much lighter life feels when you're not constantly on edge, waiting to respond to the next person who tries to push your buttons. And here's the thing. People notice when you're unbothered. They notice when they can't get to you. Some will respect it, and others might try harder to provoke you. But either way, you win because you're not playing their game. You're staying in your lane, keeping your eyes on your own goals, and refusing to let someone else's mood dictate yours. That's a kind of freedom a lot of people never experience because they're too busy being emotionally available to anyone with an opinion. Protecting your energy also means setting boundaries with yourself. It's not just about what you let people say to you. It's about what you consume, what you dwell on, and what you replay in your mind. If you keep revisiting hurtful words, you're giving them life all over again. And train yourself to let things pass through you instead of planting them in you. When you hear something negative, ask yourself, does this deserve my energy? Will this matter a year from now? Does it change my purpose? If the answer is no, you let it go. You have to remember that you're building something bigger than the moment you're in right now. Every distraction you feed takes away from the energy you could be putting into your goals, your growth, and your peace. When you stop reacting to every opinion or criticism, you're not being passive. You're being disciplined. You're making the conscious choice to invest your energy where it will multiply, not where it will drain. So start practicing today. The next time someone says something you don't like, pause before you respond. Ask yourself if your reaction will move you closer to your goals or pull you further away. 9 times out of 10, you'll realize it's not worth it. And that's when you'll start experiencing the kind of inner strength that can't be shaken by outside noise. Your peace, your energy, your focus, they're all priceless. Protect them like they are, and you'll find yourself walking through life with a confidence that nothing and no one can touch. Focusing on your goals and purpose instead of engaging with negativity is about deciding what truly deserves your attention. Life is full of distractions, and many of those distractions come in the form of negative people, situations, and thoughts that have nothing to do with your actual mission. Every time you stop to address drama, to argue with someone who doesn't matter, or to defend yourself to people who already made up their mind, you are taking time away from the work that will actually get you where you want to be. The most successful people you see aren't the ones who never face negativity. They're the ones who don't let it pull them away from their focus. Your goals are like a destination on a map. If you keep changing routes, every time someone yells at you from the side of the road, you'll never arrive. You'll get caught in detours, going in circles, while the people who stayed locked in on their destination are already there. You have to ask yourself, is this situation helping me get closer to my dream, or is it just noise? Once you can answer that honestly, you'll know exactly where to place your energy. Negativity has a way of making itself feel urgent. Someone says something about you, and you feel like you have to address it right now. You hear gossip and feel the pull to correct it immediately. But if you step back, you'll realize most negativity only lasts as long as you feed it. If you keep giving your time to it, it grows. If you starve it of attention, it dies out. Your focus is like oxygen. Wherever you give it, that thing gets stronger. So if you keep giving it to your purpose will grow. If you give it to negativity, the negativity will grow. You have to choose which one you want to feed. Another important truth is that negativity is a test. It shows up to see if you're serious about what you're working toward. If every little problem can pull you away from your mission, then your mission isn't as strong as it should be. But when you keep moving forward in the face of negativity, you prove to yourself, most importantly, that you can handle the pressure that comes with success. Because make no mistake, the more you grow, the more people will have something to say. If you can't handle it now, you definitely won't be able to handle it when the stakes are higher. Focusing on your goals also requires you to know exactly what they are. A vague dream won't stand up to negativity. You need to have a vision so clear that you can see it in your mind every time someone tries to pull you off track. When your why is strong enough, you won't waste energy on things that don't move you forward. You'll develop a natural filter for conversations, situations, and relationships that either help you or hurt you. It's also worth understanding that negativity often comes disguised as concern or advice. Someone might tell you, "I'm just looking out for you." But their words are actually planting doubt in your mind. If you're not careful, you'll start questioning yourself based on someone else's fears. That's why staying focused is as much about protecting your mind as it is about managing your time. You have to constantly remind yourself why you started and where you're going, especially when the voices around you try to make you slow down or stop. In the end, the question becomes, do you want to be right in an argument today? Or do you want to be successful in your purpose tomorrow? Because the two don't always go together. Every minute you spend proving a point to the wrong person is a minute you're not proving your point to the right people. The ones who matter, the ones who will support and benefit from your vision. The discipline to stay focused, to ignore negativity, and to keep moving forward is what separates those who achieve their goals from those who get stuck halfway. Your energy is limited, your time is valuable, and your purpose is too important to be wasted on things that don't build you. Stay locked in, and you'll get there. Stopping the habit of explaining yourself to people committed to misunderstanding you is one of the most freeing decisions you can make. There are individuals who don't actually want to understand you. They've already formed their opinion. And no matter what you say, they'll twist it to fit their narrative. You could spend hours clarifying, defending, and proving your intentions, and they would still walk away with the same negative conclusion they started with. The problem isn't your explanation. The problem is their commitment to not seeing you clearly. Once you understand that, you'll realize that explaining yourself in those situations is nothing more than a waste of your emotional energy. The urge to explain often comes from wanting to be understood, to clear your name, to show that your intentions were pure. That's a normal human desire. Nobody likes being painted in a false light. But you have to recognize the difference between someone who genuinely doesn't understand you and someone who chooses not to. The first group is worth having a conversation with. They're open-minded and willing to hear your perspective. The second group is playing a different game. They aren't looking for clarity. They're looking for confirmation of the story. They've already told themselves about you. When you keep explaining yourself to people in that second group, you're stepping into a trap. Every explanation you give is just more material for them to twist, misinterpret, or use against you. It becomes a cycle. They accuse or assume. You defend, they shift the angle. You defend again, and it never ends. Meanwhile, you're drained, frustrated, and distracted from the things that actually matter in your life. They're not trying to reach the truth. They're trying to keep you entangled in their web of misunderstanding. You also have to accept that your worth, your value, and your identity are not dependent on someone else's approval. When you stop explaining yourself to the wrong people, you take back the power you've been giving them. You're no longer living to change their mind. You're living to honor your own truth. People committed to misunderstanding, you often have deeper motives: jealousy, insecurity, resentment, or a desire to control the narrative. If you keep trying to change their opinion, you're playing right into their hands. Sometimes the best response is no response at all. Silence has a way of ending battles that words can't win. It keeps you from giving them more to twist, and it shows that you're not obligated to participate in their drama. It's not about being cold or dismissive. It's about protecting your peace and refusing to waste your time on dead-end conversations. The moment you stop needing to prove yourself to the wrong audience, you free yourself to focus on building a life that speaks louder than any rumor or false judgment ever could. It's also important to understand that the people who truly matter, the ones who genuinely care about you, don't need long explanations to believe your character. They know your heart, your history, and your intentions. If they have questions, it's because they want to understand, not because they want to tear you down. Those are the people worth having honest conversations with. Everyone else, let them think what they want. You will find that when you stop over explaining, you start living with more confidence. You stop second guessing yourself based on other people's perspectives. You stop replaying conversations in your head, wondering if you could have said something differently to make them see the truth. The reality is, no amount of explaining will change the mind of someone who benefits from misunderstanding you. In the end, the goal is not to convince everyone to see you a certain way. The goal is to live in such a way that the right people see you for who you really are, and the wrong people's opinions lose their power over you. When you stop explaining yourself to those committed to misunderstanding you, you stop giving them control over your narrative. You choose peace over pointless debate. You choose progress over distraction. And most importantly, you choose to keep your focus on the people, opportunities, and goals that actually deserve your time and energy. That's when you truly start moving forward without the weight of unnecessary explanations holding you back. Valuing your peace as a treasure and refusing to let distractions derail you is about recognizing that your inner calm is one of the most valuable assets you have. Peace isn't just a feeling, it's a foundation. When your mind is calm, you think clearer, you make better decisions, and you move through life with purpose instead of panic. But peace is fragile. It can be shaken by drama, negativity, and unnecessary stress. That's why you have to guard it like something priceless. Because once you let it slip away, it's hard to get back. The first step to valuing your peace is to understand that not everything deserves your reaction. Every single day, you'll be presented with opportunities to be distracted, arguments to join, gossip to respond to, pointless competition to engage in. The temptation to step into every little battle is real, but each one you undertakes, you further from your own path. You have to be able to look at a situation and ask yourself, is this worth my peace? Does this help me grow? Does this align with my purpose? If the answer is no, then it's an easy decision. You walk away. Protecting your peace means choosing silence over chaos, focus over frenzy. Another important truth is that peace is often challenged the most when you're making progress. When you start to level up, distractions seem to multiply. People you haven't heard from in years suddenly reappear with drama. Old habits try to creep back in. New pressures arrive that test your patience. These aren't coincidences. They're challenges meant to see if you can stay steady when the pace picks up. If you allow yourself to get caught up in every distraction, you'll lose the momentum you've worked so hard to build. That's why treating your peace as a treasure means putting it above every short-term reaction. You train yourself to respond slowly, think clearly, and act with intention. You also have to understand that valuing your peace doesn't mean avoiding every challenge. It means facing challenges in a way that doesn't destroy your inner stability. You can have difficult conversations, handle problems, and work through obstacles without letting them consume you. The key is to separate what's urgent from what's important. Not everything that demands your attention deserves to get it immediately, and not everything that frustrates you should have the power to ruin your whole day. A big part of keeping your peace is learning how to say no. No to invitations that drain you. No to relationships that pull you down. No to opportunities that take you off course. Some people feel guilty about saying no, but the truth is, every yes to something unimportant is a no to something that matters. If you keep saying yes to every distraction, you'll have no time or energy left for the things that actually make your life better. When you truly see your peace as treasure, you also stop putting yourself in environments that constantly threaten it. You don't go looking for trouble. You don't feed drama. And you don't let toxic energy have a seat at your table. You make your surroundings reflect the life you want to live. That means spending time with people who encourage you, working in spaces that inspire you, and filling your mind with thoughts that lift you. Peace isn't just protected. It's built one choice at a time. The best part about valuing your peace is that it changes how you see the world. You start realizing that you don't need to win every argument or be involved in every situation. You stop chasing validation and start chasing fulfillment. You stop letting other people's chaos become your chaos. And once you taste that kind of calm, you'll never want to give it away again. In the end, life will always try to pull your attention in 100 different directions. But when you make the decision to treasure your peace above all else, you start moving differently. You think twice before reacting. You measure the cost of your energy. And you choose what's worth your time with intention. Distractions will always exist, but they only derail you if you give them permission. When you choose peace, you choose power, the kind that keeps you steady no matter what's happening around you. That's how you keep moving your goals with your mind clear, your heart steady, and your future intact.